Good evening, everyone, and welcome once again to the place to be each and every Sunday night, where tonight we are coming to you for the very first time from Knockhill for what are we up to? Round 3 of season 26 of Sunday Night Lights. I am your host, Alex McKellar, and joining me, as always, is the chaotic one himself, Mr. Corey Steinhauser. Corey, big night of racing here ahead of us once again.
That's right, Alex, and almost an absolutely chock-a-block full field. We've got 19 Skippy competitors to take on the racing action here tonight. And I've done a few laps around here myself this week, and well, for once, and the track is absolutely amazing to drive on.
Yeah, mate, it is a unique challenge. It's interesting. The participation hasn't been brilliant here for a first week out track, but perhaps the challenges keeping some of the challenge of this circuit, keeping some of the drivers away, but certainly a packed grid tonight. 19, nearly the full complement of 20 of some of the best have turned out to have a crack here tonight. Let's take a look at some of our drivers here tonight as we run through the field. We've got Naoya Nagai, car plate number 1 here. He's looking to improve on his results from last week, where he did a mega somersault and landed beautifully on one of the tyre barriers, but not to take out the race like you would have otherwise expected potentially. Sam Devantier, who did take out last week's race for Speedy Snails, he's back as the 2-plated car. Julian O'Fray is number 3. He hasn't left the pits yet, though. Neither has Christian Perez, who also joins us from Iberia, but the fast Arturo team, which is a bit of an inside joke. Corey Lean is the second ANZ driver here tonight. He's back. I think this is probably his first time in SNL this season. Great to see him back as the first of the time start coming in. Giuseppe Tellini, car number 6, one of our regulars from Italy. Vasco Sorowski, the next ANZ driver in the field, currently leading the timesheet after his first lap. Car number 8 is Hiroyuki Shoda, one to watch from Japan. Qualifies well, as many of the Japanese drivers do. Hiroshi Ueda, one of his counterparts, is car number 9. Car number 10 tonight, the Frenchman Armand Chabanais. That's how I'm going to pronounce that one, Corey.
I reckon you're probably rock solid on that one, Alex. I was just sitting there trying to think of that one myself. Coming up in the 11th plated car, though, we have Team VDM Milo's Russell Clark from AusNZ Club. The 12th plated car here tonight is Akira Nakajima from Japan. And we've got a couple more Aussie drivers in a row, with Neil Gardner as the 13th plated car and Darren Tune as the 14th plated car. We've got Joachim Osbeck from Scandinavia, with Yukinori Nagano from Japan. Nagao. Yukinori Nagao. Mitchell Nichols from AusNZ Club is going to be the 17th plated car, with a returning Mitch McLeod as the 18th plated car. Surprising to see Mitch out there. Hopefully he has a good run. And then Juan Ramon Bello Garcia from Iberia wrapping up the field as our 19th plated driver here tonight, Alex.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find a driver who's still out there. Of course, quali's so important here, but the laps are so short. We have seen the magic 54-second barrier crossed with Naoya Nagai, once again taking the bonus point for pole. But with Sam Devantier still cracking around, though, at the moment, Sorowski's looking good on the front row. Depends on what the Speedy Snails driver can do here as he rounds the Taylor chicane at the end of his second qualifying lap. What does last week's winner have for us on the short run into the timing line as he crosses? Does he improve? Yes, he does. 54.9. He's just behind one of the best qualifiers going around in Naoya Nagai by some 0.038. Corey, good job by the Cowboy.
Absolutely, Alex. I mean, normally Nagai absolutely blows everyone out of the water with his qualifying pace. And for Sam to be that close to him, it just really goes to show how much Sam has improved as a driver over the past couple of seasons. And it's really good to see. And Vasco Sorowski as well, coming in P3 at the moment. Absolutely good effort from our Aussie blokes here.
Yeah, that's it. Although O'Fray and just Tellini crosses the line now. What's he got to say? He's up to 5th. O'Fray yet to complete his first lap, and he's a late starter in this quali. Maybe waiting for a bit of rubber. And look at those magic tyres not spinning. That's nothing to do with netcode at all. It's just the special car that he's driving, folks. GTI Racing. And Christian Perez after his first lap in the new striking purple livery for, well, he's actually racing for Infinite Racing Services, IRS, but nice looking livery there. He's jumped up to P3, bumping Sorowski to P4 with both O'Fray and Sorowski. Oh, there we go. The wheels is turning now. There's probably a quicker way to go. O'Fray coming to cross the line for his second lap. What's the Frenchman returning to us as the former season champion? He bumps Sorowski onto the second row with a 55 dead, leaving Perez the last one to cross the line. What's the Spaniard got for us? As he crosses Corey, just in time to grab pole for the first time in I don't know how long. We don't have no guy on pole. How about that? There's something for you.
That's incredible, but we should probably quickly get through the grid since it's time to go.
It's time to go. Christian Perez finally nailed one. He's taken pole. Well done to the Faster Arturo Racing team member. Naoya Nagai from Japan sitting in P2. Tonight, an unusual position for him. Sam Devantier for Speedy Snails in 3rd off the grid. Julian O'Fray, returning series champion, starts from 4th. Vasco Sorowski, second ANZ driver off the grid in 5th for Team Clowns. Giuseppe Tellini, the Italian driver, starting from P6. Hiroyuki Shorter continues his good run in quali, starting from 7th. Arnaud Chabannet from France, he's starting in 8th. Juan Garcia from Iberia out of 9th. Darren Tune making a great job of quali here tonight, starting out of 10th. Corey Lean returns to series, starts from 11th. Russell Clark rounds out your top 12 off the grid for VDR Team Milo. As we go over the page, 13th, Mitchell Nichols from ANZ. Joachim Osbeck from Scandinavia out of 14th. 15th tonight, Hiroshi Ueda from Japan. Neil Gardner, his second run for the season out of 16th. Mitchell McLeod returns to series out of 17th. Akira Nakajima, the Japanese driver, out 18th. And our final driver and final Japanese driver, Yukinori Nagao from Japan out of 19th. Corey, looking forward to this one. 27 laps will absolutely fly by in this one.
Oh, they absolutely will, Alex. 55-second lap times are the average around here, much like the Barbagallo Raceway for the V8 supercars. So I think everyone is now on the grid. The pulses are going to start rising as the red lights mean rev. And the green lights mean go. We're underway for 27 laps around the brand new Knockhill circuit as the field goes streaming down into Doofus Tip, turn number 1, Alex.
Yeah, wonderfully named corner there, but check them out as they're all mounting curbs left, right and centre. Midfield, some thinking about making early moves, very tough to do. Very challenging circuit to pass at any time. When the cars are bunched up, it's certainly a temptation rather than further down the race, as we see already Perez looking to stamp his authority on this race, out to 7/10 of a second lead over Naoya Nagai. Sam Devantier, the cowboy, all over his tail. He will be tossing up whether to chuck a move up the inside at the final chicane, final hairpin at Taylor's, or risk losing Perez after just the end of the first lap.
It looked like we had a little bit of drama going on in the final corner, Alex. I see the 8 car looking backwards.
Whoa, let's check him out. Shorter, he's gone all the way back to the rear there. Let me go see if I can find what happened. There's, oh, jeepers, there's been a few that have been involved by the looks. Let's go check it out. Shorter here, your 8-plated car. It's got to be into the braking zone of the final corner for sure. Chabannet and Netco, the big destroyer there. Oh, he's just everywhere. That's a big mess. He's done very well to hold his brakes there. That's a tough one. That's really split them up. And that's, look at the domination of Perez. He's out to just about a second on this lot. Nagai really struggling to hang on here. And really holding up a train now. Devantio, Frey, Sorowski, Tellini, all looking really anxiously at that disappearing purple car out in front. Who's purple? Speaking of purple, he's just set a purple lap. Lap 2, and he's already in the 49s, Corey, is Christian Perez.
That's absolutely incredible. It speaks to the talent that Perez has and probably how many laps he's done around here as well. I imagine he's been doing a lot of practice to, just to try and get better than everyone else, as one should when it comes to dealing with a new track. And the guy really does seem to be a cork in the bottle at the moment. He's just kind of holding up Devantia here, which is quite the surprise considering Nagai's natural pace just about everywhere.
Well, again, it's going to depend on how many laps he's done here too. Devantia, once again, putting in the hard yards, done 1,000 races here, won quite a few of them, and has had great pace, trying really to parlay the confidence gained out of last week's race win into better results this week, and really preparing himself for the action on a Sunday night is young Devantia. But don't rule out those around him either as well. You've got O'Fray and Sorowski. So we have two ANZ drivers in the top 5, all competing for the win. And, look, and Nagai now starting to potentially find his groove. He's hasn't lost much, if anything, to Perez in the last lap or so. And that's despite having his mirrors filled with 4 or 5 skippies all hunting him and almost willing him on to go faster to not let Perez get away.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Alex. Everyone would be trying to be desperate to catch up to Perez there in the front. And one thing I did notice, though, is coming through the Clark corner, number 7, O'Fray actually stepped it out right sideways and got into the kitty litter there a little bit. Now there's a little bit of a gap between himself and Sam Devantia to the tune of about half a second. And around a track like this, that's actually not really easy to try and catch up.
No, that's it. So Nagai now matching the pace of Perez. Devantia with the benefit of Nagai's draft, albeit not substantially beneficial here, setting the fastest lap with a 54.7. Tolini's dropped off the back of this pack. It's now a race in 5 up front. Chabonet, after that incident early on with Shorter, he's up one position, just that one that he got out of that incident. He's being chased hard by Mitchell Nichols as now Devantia makes the move up the inside at the final hairpin now. O'Fray looking to go with him. Interesting, because the inside line does not give you the speed on exit, but so difficult there. O'Fray blinking in and out. He almost boxed Nagai in there, and I was going to say he wasn't going to be able to take advantage of the over-under. Side by side behind for P3. O'Fray really looking to get past the Japanese driver. Does so through turn 3 at McIntyre, this time up to this amazing chicane. Almost flat out in 4th gear through there later in the race. You can do it if you're brave. At the start of the race, though, it's really 50-50 bet a lot of the time if you can line it up. Blind crests are the name of the game here at this corner, and that's a doozy.
Oh, indeed it is, Alex, and it's caught me out a few times in the 5 or 6 races that I've done here this week. But you can see the desperation earlier of O'Fray trying to just make a move, because this place is so difficult to try and make positions. Saying that, Christian Perez doesn't need to worry about that. He's gone out to a 2-second lead now over Sam Devantia and the rest of the top 5, as everyone absolutely mounting every single curve they can get, trying to gain any and all speed that they can find out of this track, and they're just not seeming to have a good time of it right now, Alex.
Yeah, very, very interesting there. I mean, we talk about the 2-second gap, although Devantia's clawed back half a tenth in the opening stages of lap 7. Devantia sat very patiently behind Nagai, watching that lead, not going anywhere. But the risk you run when you make a move is it's going to cost you time. It's cost them a second by making that move. But Sam, building on the confidence he gained last week's win, thinking that he's potentially got the pace where Nagai may not, after having put in the yards this week. So fascinating to see how this one plays out. If Devantia, after being so patient sitting on the back last week, wants to take charge this week, use the pace that he's earned and see if he can't catch one of the best of the world in Perez up front.
That's going to be the ultimate question. It's looking like they're still fairly level pegging at the moment. Maybe Perez with a slight advantage. And Perez does have the fastest lap of the race, which he clawed back with no draft assistance at all. And it's not a surprise to see that he's leading this race still as the field start heading down into the turn number 7, the Clark corner. And that's another very interesting corner in itself, Alex. Third gear, you take as much of the entry curb as you can and try not to take too much of that inside curb because it will spit you out into the gravel.
Yeah, absolutely. So many interesting facets of this new circuit to the iRacing service. Hasn't drawn out as many this week as you might have expected with a new circuit, but those who have, some have had a great night, as we see Frey making the move up the inside now, wanting to take charge of this. Oh, as he blinks away again. Oh my goodness, that cost me my camera. Jeepers, that'd be very unsettling for the guys in that pack. But Frey, who rejoins us in the same dimension for the time being at least, on the front of that chasing pack, as we might dip down a bit now. Nichols, he's on the front of that tertiary pack there, fighting. He's in 7th at the moment, just ahead of Chabonet and Garcia. Having a good race there is young Nichols. Russell Clark, the third for Team Milo, running a lonely race there in P10. Nakajima, he's got a busy battle on his hand. He's on the front of a pack of, what's that, 5, 6 cars there. Just behind him, you've got ANZ drivers of Gardner, McLeod and Tune, all wanting to have a crack at this. Nakajima, who's leading this pack, is actually up 7 positions on the night to be the biggest mover in the field, Corey.
That's actually really incredible to see that you can gain 7 positions. I mean, Mitchell Nichols himself, no slouch, up 6 positions from where he started. So there's definitely moves to be made and, little places where you can take advantages. But that move into Dupas Dip, as it's affectionately known around here, was definitely maybe a little bit silly from Frey. It made them lose another half a second to Perez. But another thing that I want to touch on, Alex, that we could have to maybe worry about as we get towards the end of the race, it's a possibility of lap traffic. This track being so small and us having so many laps, lap traffic could become a factor.
Yeah, 100%. It's been absolutely a factor in the racing here during this week, of multiple occasions. And that combined with the lower splits, as we see Gardner now making an attempt to overtake Nakajima in the final hairpin, not getting it done. That's putting him under threat from McLeod, challenging him into turn 1, a doofus tip this time round. McLeod, the number 18 car, up the inside. Gardner sensibly gives him the room, and they get it done. And that's so fascinating. Oh, as Gardner shows the nose up the inside at 3, not going to get it done this time round. Fascinating to see what the racing breeds here. Gardner had a legitimate attacking move on Nakajima into the final corner. Not only did he not make the move, he got done on the following corner by McLeod, Corey. It's just fascinating to see the strategic elements of the race unfold.
And that's just one of those things with a new track. You got to be careful where you pick and choose where you make moves, because things could turn on you in an instant. See Gardner there going very defensive on Tune, getting a great run out of the hairpin at Taylor's, and he's looking like he's going to try and make an outside pass here along the pit straight, going into Dupas Dip, Alex.
Same thing. Gardner goes to the move in the final corner, gets done by turn 1. Oh, he'd be kicking himself. He's lost 2 positions in 2 laps, both times while making an attacking move to try and gain a position. Meanwhile, Nakajima's running away with it. While we're watching that, we saw Devantia make a move for the lead of that second pack. I'm just going to see if I can grab a replay of it. Here we go. It's actually a Frey run wide out of Doofus coming into turn 2, then momentarily departs this astral plane into another, and Devantia taking full advantage. That's almost a freebie pass. As we jump back to live pictures now, we see Devantia still in front of that, but the rocket, the Iberian rocket that is Christian Perez, is now out to a 3.3 second lead and absolutely dominating this one flag to flag, Corey.
Indeed he is, Alex, and I don't think he's going to be getting challenged here at all unless he gets mixed up with some of the lap traffic. But what I've noticed so far this week, the lap traffic has been pretty cordial and letting people by, just knowing when you're going to catch up to it. because you don't want to catch him anywhere between Duper, Stip and Clark, because the passing opportunities, especially on lap traffic, just aren't there with the speed difference.
Yeah, 100% now as we see Chabonet going into battle with Garcia. Garcia coming underneath. Chabonet gets it done through the final corner. See Clark off in the distance, potentially thinking about the battle in front of him, giving him a position as we see Chabonet coming back at Garcia into turn one. Oh, that was messy, and off goes Garcia. He's gone off into the pastures, and as I was saying, Clark licking his lips at the opportunity, gets a free meal at turn one as a result of that one, as Garcia falls back into the middle of the battling pack there that we were watching before, right in front of Darren Tune and Gardner, who's now got another one to try and get past in his efforts to move forward, as Nagai now side by side through the final corner with O'Fray. Briefly poked his nose in front, but now we'll tuck him behind the ever blinking Frenchman Julian O'Fray.
I reckon that's why they call turn one Duper Stip, Alex, is because sometimes it's not even necessarily the fault of the drivers. It's just the way that the track falls and dives in that area. You could really look like a little bit of a doofus for a simple move just gone slightly wrong. And I think that's definitely what we saw there happening on the previous lap. This second through fifth pack, these guys are still absolutely going flat out. And I'm surprised that they're not clawing any time back here at all with how hard they're driving. But, you know, they're probably also battling a little bit, as you see O'Fray just showing the nose a little bit just before Taylor's, trying to unsettle Devantier a little bit. And it's just not working. Sam is going on like a rock right now, Alex.
Yeah, although O'Fray's got the run here, he will definitely have a look into turn one for sure. Devantier leaving the door open. Will he contest it? I think they've given up on P1. There's no way they're catching P. Oh, I wish he'd stop disappearing with my cameras on him. But Sam Devantier getting it done around the outside of turn one. Beautiful control there, side by side. It would be very unnerving having the network issues right beside you at that sort of corner. Doing fantastically well under the circumstances. And as you see the rear of Swarovski's car pelt out on the side. Fastest lap that time around going to Julian O'Fray in P3 with a 54.3. Only 0.2 quicker than Christian Perez in clean air. But unfortunately, the driver he was drafting there, Sam Devantier, who remains in second place, was only matching the pace of Christian Perez. So there's no way they're going to bridge that gap, which is now out to 3.8 seconds. This is the battle for the scraps on the podium, Corey.
Indeed it is, Alex, and I'm pretty sure once we start getting into the latter stages of this race, these little battles, little showing the nose here and there, this is going to start getting a whole lot more aggressive. And honestly, I'm thinking it might start ending up in tears with how aggressive these guys have been this early on.
Potentially, mate, potentially, but they'll have 10 laps to go, and 10 laps here is like 5 laps anywhere else. They'll be starting to think about time really running out to start asserting their dominance in their respective packs. Just touching base with some of the other drivers in the field. Up 6 positions is Mitchell Nichols, and he's driving a lonely race, as is Chabonet, who's had the elbows out and cleared himself into a lonely race most likely. Russell Clark up 3 positions into the top 10. Nakajima still on the front of this battle pack here, with McLeod now rising to the surface of that. Nakajima now up 8 positions, with McLeod trying to make it 7. Garcia has a look up the inside of McLeod at turn 9. Taylor's the final corner, but does not get it done this time round. Darren Tune on the back of this group. Surprisingly, Gardner's dropped off the back. Doesn't look to be carrying any damage, but you may recall that he was actually sitting in P11 attacking Nakajima. Now he's in 14th off the back. What could have been for the ANZ driver. Nagao and Ueda, the Japanese drivers, up the back here in 14th and 15th respectively, as side by side again the Frenchman and the Cowboy. Through the final corner they go. O'Fray will not get the same drive as Devantier. Devantier gets the drive on the outside line through the corner. And look at that. If that's a rehearsal for the finish of the race, the run to the line is quite short, and Devantier would take it. However, the race continues, and side by side through Doofus Dip they will go. And Devantia, once again, around the outside, gets it done, showing the laps that he's done here this week may well and truly pay off, Corey.
Indeed, he is showing that, Alex, and it's not easy to defend on the outside of turn one like that, as all four of these drivers catching some air coming through the chicane. But, you know, Sam, he's done so many laps around here. He would know just about every little nuance of this track. He's got to be careful with how much curb he's taking. He could end up getting some wing damage if he's not careful.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. I just saw something fascinating in the telemetry. In that little sequence from the final corner to turn one, there were 6 changes for positions between O'Fray and Devantia in that little sequence. Really goes to show you how tight the racing is here. And it's all going to, in that final run to the line, it's really going to be all down to where you are out of that final corner. I mean, sounds obvious, but it's, you know, the start line and the finish line, of course, are in 2 different positions. The straight's not that long, so the start line's further down the straight than the finish line. So the smart racers who've done some time here will know that you might give up the inside run to get the better drive out of the corner with the short run to the line, potentially, if you're good at it. Although, having said that, doing what O'Fray's doing here, showing the nose, but then making the dive up the inside because it's only a short run. Maybe the guy on the outside doesn't have the drive to beat you to the line. So, fascinating to see what these guys do in the closing stages.
Indeed it is, Alex, and it's all just going to be a part of that whole chess match that these guys are playing mentally with themselves. And to see O'Fray now starting to show the nose again, going into Duper Stip. And side by side they go once more. Devantia, ever stoic in his defense, and O'Fray made a mistake. The guy almost coming up on his outside, and somehow O'Fray just about holding the inside of Devantia coming out of McIntyre. And I can hear Sam Devantia on the radio, actually, and he's getting a little bit worried about how much O'Fray is blinking right now. And I can also see Nagai and Savorsky have dropped off the back of O'Fray a little bit here, just because of how severe his network issues seem to be in this race, Alex.
Yeah, no, they've closed back up now by the looks, but I can share Sam's concerns because it's, yeah, it's pretty dramatic as O'Fray this time moves out and doesn't look like he's going to make a move. Looks like Garcia had a moment. Let's just quickly touch base with him. Oh, he's had a big moment on the exit of the chicane there and put it into the wall nose first. Just a gentle touch, although his front wing won't be thanking him for that. We also had Mitch McLeod go off briefly. Is it again on the exit of the chicane? Yes. Yeah, that's nothing too much to worry about there. Nothing too uncommon either. As we jump back to live pictures. And Devantia, the Cowboy, still leading the way. They are now nearly, well, they will be just about to crack 5 seconds behind the purple flying machine of Christian Perez, who is indeed coming up onto lap traffic this time round. The 8-car Hiroyuki Shorda pulls over to the side to let the leader by. Perhaps a little bit of a lift. There we go, Shorda-san, well played. Meanwhile, back in the second pack, O'Fray once again showing the nose at turn 1. We'll have another look as they start lap 23. Devantia continuing on this defensive approach, recognising that it is so tough to pass here. Better to be in front than behind. Will they go 2x2 through the chicane? No. One of them has some sanity and lives through there. Well played, sir.
And just another great example of the defense that Sam is willing to put on here. He's not the number 2 plated driver in this race for nothing, Alex, and he's trying to prove that here today by holding on to the second spot, defending against arguably one of the toughest drivers to race against, at least if our history shows anything. Here comes O'Fray now, looking for a move up on the inside of Taylor's. A little bit of a bottom out for that Skippy as well, as it's quite a severe rise going through that corner. The side-by-side they go down the line. Again, Sam would have won that drag race to the line, but we're still continuing on with just about 4 laps left to go, Alex.
This time the guy getting interested as well. 4 laps to go, as you say. He's thinking about, as O'Fray gets it done. This time round the inside at turn 2 and 3, gets it done. That's a big move. Look at Devantia crawling all over the back. Oh, this is the challenge of the night. Can they get it done? Tough to go side by side through here. compromises his exit, does Devantier. Now Nagai, following in the draft, such as it is, behind O'Fray, pulls in front of the Cowboy, having been given the clear call. Will Devantier lose another spot as Swarovski goes around the outside? Costly manoeuvre from the Cowboy, and yes, he will. He's lost. He's in going for one. He's lost two, and potentially a shot at the podium, Corey. Crazy scenes in the closing stages.
That's right, Alex. It's now Swarovski looking for a move on a guy into Doofer Stip, and it doesn't look like that's going to work out for him. And here comes Sam now trying to look for an outside move. Swarovski trying to stay in solid there on the inside of the guy. This is where we're going to have a side-by-side. In the matter of just a few corners, and now everything's looking on the up and up. Oh no, I'm just hearing on the radio that Swarovski has a slowdown, Alex.
Oh, tragic, as I just lost the universe there myself for a moment. O'Fray's running away with it. Nagai and Devantier, apologies for the interruption there, folks. I think I had a blip on my internet, and apparently O'Fray's not the only one who can blink here tonight, as we're back with live pictures. O'Fray skipped away, not to the extent of Perez, but O'Fray's out on his own. Swarovski after that slowdown, they're still in it, but Nagai now sitting in the box seat for the final step on the podium as this battle unfolds for the last couple of laps, Corey.
Indeed it is, Alex, and it's going to be interesting to see which one of the Aussies is going to make a move and where. I also just heard on the radio that apparently there's a little bit of contact between one Russell Clark III and one of the other drivers. So not sure what happened there, but Russell's still going on strong and in the top 10. The other driver he was battling with has fallen off by the wayside as this battle is going to continue on. I'm not sure who's going to take away third place here, Alex, but it's definitely going to be one hell of a race.
Oh, Nagai locks up in the braking zone of the final corner. Perez sets the fastest lap undrafted with a 54.9, if you don't mind. The white flag, the surrender flag comes out as we have one lap to go here. Devantier confident in the outside line as Nagai defends through turn one this time round. Beautiful drive from Devantier, gets it done around the outside. What has Swarovski got for the Japanese driver in front of him? Nothing right now, with one few runner corners left to go. Oh, Devantier, I think he's got it. That's going to bring Swarovski right into it through the next corner at Clark. Now up the railway straight they go. Perez, though, comes through the final corner. Thank you very much. He's going to take it out. O'Fray's tucked in behind. These guys sorted themselves out. Let's grab Perez across the line for his first win of this season. Well done, Sir O'Fray. Comes out of the final corner to take P2. Devantier hangs on and comes back indeed to grab the final spot on the podium. 2 podiums in 2 weeks. Fantastic racing there, Corey. What a beautiful exhibition this one turned out to be.
That's exactly right, Alex. And this was a great showcase of a new track and what it can be capable of. As I'm just watching the race between McLeod and Tune coming across the line. McLeod taking out P8 there, while Tune taking home 9th. McLeod in 9th and Tune in 10th. Great racing all round there, honestly. Not many incidents at all, which is quite surprising considering the tight and technical nature of this track. This is why we assemble the best Skippy drivers here each and every single week, and they definitely showed us what this track is capable of.
Yeah, let's go see what happened to Russell Clark if we can. I think he was battling with Chabonet. He's already, oh dear. On the exit there, they've just come together and turned, and Chabonet has actually come out worse for wear on that one. And he's just trying to find his way back onto the circuit in a clear bit of air, and he has done so. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if he was running slow or Clark just got a massively better run or what it was, but yeah, a bit of a messy one there. As we go and take a look at our race results here for round 3 at Knockhill. Our first visit to Knockhill, really enjoyed it, I have to say. Christian Perez, I'm sure, enjoyed his night out as well, taking this one out by a fair old margin in the end. 7.1 seconds with all the battling behind him, although he was honestly never threatened. From lap 1, he looked like he was fit to burst away, and that he did. Julian O'Fray, after what was a titanic struggle, ended up finishing in second and rounding out the podium for the second podium in a week. It wasn't a win, but it was a P3 for Sam Devantier, the Cowboy and Speedy Snails driver, doing a great job in amongst the elbows out racing that was that battle throughout the race. Now, Nagai went from P2, an unfamiliar position for him on the grid. The hard racing saw him finish fourth for the leading Japanese driver. Vasco Sorowski was in it up to his eyeballs as well, right until the end. And he's finished with a top 5 finish for his Troubles, the Team Clowns racer. For Wave Italy Racing Team, Giuseppe Tellini's finished 6th. Mitchell Nichols, another ANZ driver there, in a really solid performance for him. In 7th, Russell Clark, the 3rd for Team Milo, who's up 4 positions, 6 for Nichols it was, but Russell's finished in 8th. Mitch McLeod, in his return to the series, is the biggest mover in the field. He's up 8 positions and finishes in 9th. Darren Tune rounds out your top 10. Great to see so many ANZ flags inside the top 10. Akira Nakajima for Japan got shuffled back in that pack towards the end of the race, finishing 11th. And another ANZ flag for Neil Gardner sees him finish in the final points scoring position for Sunday Night Lights in P12. Yukinori Nagao for Japan, he's finished in 13th, just ahead of his compatriot Hiroshi Ueda. Joachim Osbeck is how I'm going to pronounce that. Apologies if I'm butchering that. From Scandinavia, he's in 15th. Arnaud Chabannet had quite the adventurous race, but finished down in 16th. Juan Bella Garcia, he's finished in 17th, just ahead of Hiroyuki Shoda. And our final finisher, if I go over the page, was ANZ's Corey Lean. Corey, that was some kind of race. And for those of you at home who haven't bought or tried out this track or gave it a miss this week, please, if that's anything to go by, you can see what the race is like, and it's been a pretty good, I would say, what's the word I'm looking for? Expose of what you can see here on any given race day.
That's exactly right, Alex. I mean, everyone knows that I haven't been doing as much iRacing as I used to do. And, I've done 6 races this week, and each and every single time, racing is just so much more fantastic and better, albeit minus a couple of single split races, which were absolute crapshoots to begin with. But, once you get down and get started racing, this track is just such a personal challenge to just try and complete. But it's definitely a very good test of skill, and I strongly encourage people go out and get this track too, to be completely honest with you.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. And for the first time in a long time, we've got our entire podium waiting for an interview, which is great to see. Let's start off with our winner, Mr. Christian Perez. Mate, congratulations. Dominant performance here. You had the pace and you knew what to do with it. Congratulations on a fantastic win.
Thank you, Alex. Yeah. I didn't expect it, as I told the guys here. Well, the first lap, when I saw Naoya like 0.8, I really did expect and try to go, zigzag only one time on the straight, and then I go away. So yeah, controlling a little bit the gap and trying to not make any mistake on the fast chicane. So yeah, really happy. So I didn't expect that easy, not easy, but going away on first lap and then leading all the laps.
Yeah, mate, it was fantastic. And not only that, you've uncorked the bottle on qualifying too. Grabbing a pole from Naoya Nagai is no mean feat. Just an amazing effort. I know you've been working on it because Nagai's had the edge on everyone. Fantastic pole position as well, mate. Bonus point for that.
Yeah, thanks. Again, I didn't expect that because in the previous race Naoya get the pole and I was like 1/10 and a half more slow. So yeah, and I think that I gained like 2/10. So probably Naoya his lap was not too good. So I had that. So perfect race today.
Perfect indeed. I think you had the fastest lap as well, mate. So congratulations. 3 from 3 here tonight. Shows how important qualifying well is here as well. The fresh air and no battling to combine with the pace to win it. Fantastic result. Congratulations, mate. Is there anyone now you promised me? Is there anyone you'd like to thank tonight after winning the big one?
First of all, yes, it's my team. It is a rename of Unicos. So this is Astro Racing Team. Okay, not Faster Arturo Team. That's
You need to update that,
with yeah, I know. With Simon saying like a year ago or maybe two. So yeah, that's all. And no, that's a one. And the other it is to you, Alex, to your fantastic job you are doing on the track guide. So thanks to you and thanks to my team.
Beautiful. Thank you, mate. Yeah, those who don't know, I'm working with Christian for Infinite Racing Services. We're doing a track guide each and every week for the official series, and it's going well. It's fantastic to work with you, Christian, to have someone of your ability put together a lap and have the opportunity just to talk people through it has been fantastic. So check it out, Infinite Racing Services, folks. Just do a quick Google and you'll find them, no problems. Infinite Racing RS, I think, is the website, or you can find them on YouTube as well. But congratulations again, Christian. It's been a fantastic night of racing. Well done. First, and I know you've got your heart set on winning this championship. A great way to do it, mate. So congratulations, and hopefully we'll get to talk to you again soon.
That's all, guys.
There you go, Corey. Christian Perez, he came good on his promise. He was a bit more talkative once he had the win.
That's exactly right, Alex. And it's great to see such a stalwart of our top split skippy community coming through and getting a win after what feels like it's been forever since the last time he's been on the top step of the podium, and coming through to break through for the first pole position as well, after the dominance of Nagai over the past couple of seasons. He's just on the up and up, and a flag to flag victory on top of it all. Just absolutely incredible to see.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, the thing is, he's won everything in the skips. The 2K Cup. I think he's won an official series as well. I can't recall, but he's finally set his heart on winning a Sunday Night Lights championship, and you can see he's putting in the effort and what it's bringing. So, fantastic to see Christian reap the benefits of the benefits of his hard work, but also great to see him on track here on a Sunday night. And you can see just how the best of the best going around do it, and aren't we the better for it? But going now to our second place getter tonight, Mr. Julian O'Fray. Julian, you were in a battle for the ages there throughout the race. How did it shape up for you?
Hello. That was a very, very interesting race. And I really like this kind of track. And I had not a lot of time to practice it, but enough to battle with other guys. So it was really, really good today.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. It looked like, really a battle for the ages there. Hopefully it was enjoyable. It looked like it had a few internet connections, but it didn't play a major factor in the end. And I think, like you, mate, some of the real racers out there will enjoy this track if they give it a chance. It's been pretty quiet here this week, but the race you guys put on today was amazing. So thank you very much.
Yep, I'm happy to finish this one because I was destroyed two first races, and it's good to finish more than one lap.
Yeah, that's
And
it.
I want to apologize for my connections. I know it's not appreciable to be around someone who lag like I like.
Yeah, mate, it's a challenge, but you and Sam seem to make it work okay. It would have been a bit unnerving, but it worked out in the end. So congratulations, mate. P2 here tonight, another step forward. Anyone you'd like to shout out to tonight before we let you go?
Thank you, but I want to thank you, and I don't want to thank my wife because she use all the internet connection.
Very good. All right, mate. Well,
And she will hurt me.
All right, mate. Great to talk to you. We look forward to talking to you again soon.
See you. Bye bye.
There you go, Corey. That's the explanation as he momentarily in the replay disappears once again as to why we saw the ins and outs of Julian O'Fray this week.
Yeah, and probably not a smart excuse, although probably also is, because I don't think she watches our broadcasts. So, he could probably get away with saying that as his excuse. But all in all, great race. Once he was able to break away from that second pack, never looked back and just absolutely secured that second position. The racing between himself and Sam was absolutely incredible as we see them going really close through some of the corners here in the replays. It's just great racing all around from just the entire top four, Alex.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. It was a fantastic showcase of what Skippy Racing's all about. But let's go to last week's winner. This week, still on the podium, 1 step or 2 steps lower, though, this week. The Cowboy, Sam Devantier, mate. That was a race for the ages.
It was. I was looking at the spaceship behind me of Julian O'Fray, so it was pretty great. A lot of colourful language coming out of my mouth. So yeah, it was all right.
It was just all right, he says. But yeah,
a lot of colourful language. A lot.
Well, mate, can I say it brought for some amazing footage. The number of times you went side by side, and can I say defended around the outside of turn 1 into turn 2. It seemed like he had that line nailed, and was then. The strategy at the final corner as well, taking the outside line to then come back and do the same again through turn 1. Was that the sort of strategy on the night?
I've been doing that all week personally because you get a quicker run on the outside, on the left side, in the final corner. So that's what I've been doing all week, and it's paid out well. So.
Yeah, that's it, mate. Well, great racing once again, mate. 2 podiums in 2 weeks. It's nothing to sneeze at, and the biggest show in town. So congratulations, mate. Anyone like to give a shout out to?
You guys obviously broadcast every week. And my team, they did the Daytona 24 hour and they finished P4. So nice. Good guys, good job to them as well.
Yeah, congrats to the Speedy Snails P4 in a 24-hour race like that. It's nothing to sneeze at. Well done, gents, and well done to you, Mr. Devantier. Hopefully we'll see you back in the next week or two, putting on another strong performance, leading the charge of the ANZ drivers.
Thank you. See you guys.
There you go, Corey. The Cowboys, Sam Devantier, putting on another really strong performance here tonight again.
That's exactly right, Alex. And he's, as you said, he's put in 1,000 laps at least this week alone, just trying to learn all the little nuances of this new track. And, it's clear to see that he's definitely been putting in the time and the effort each and every single week. He came in just about level on iRating with Nagai-san, and, I reckon it won't be too long before we see Sam Devantier as the number 1 plate with a 7K iRating.
Yeah, mate. Well, with 15 or 20 races a week and the pace that he's earned as a result, potentially that's the case, right? So, one more gentleman in our commentary booth here tonight joins us once again, Mr. Vasco Sorowski. Vasco for Team Clowns, mate. What a battle up the front there. I bet you were itching to get right amongst it throughout.
Hello, boys. Yeah, it was interesting. I think Julian's ping was a bit off, and that was causing a few unexpected brake checks and stuff, from people around. But mate, it was on, and it's amazing. I was doing everything to get past the guy, and just the draft from the other two, and I couldn't get alongside. And then when we finally did, believe it or not, something went weird in the headset, and I thought we hit wheels, so I turned right and ended up getting the slowdown. So it doesn't matter. It was a fun race. Very fun.
Yeah, mate, it goes to show what you can do in the right company at this track. And as tough as it is to pass, though, when the opportunities present, if you have the courage of your convictions, you can get through there and get it done. What's your thoughts on the track overall?
The track's great fun. Like you said, it is quite hard to pass, and everyone seems to have pace in different sectors. And some sectors, if you got pace but you can't get around someone, it's not that useful, but it still keeps you in there. And like I said, the boys were getting off that long right-hander at the back. What is it, turn 6 or whatever it is, pretty well. And I was getting off the chicane fairly well, so it made it a bit interesting coming up to it. But really, mate, I've got to say it. I had a race here with Corey this week, and I think that's why I kept up with these guys, to be honest with you. Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah, I've heard there was some extra chaos on the track this week. So, all right, mate. Listen, thanks very much for joining us as always and getting out there on track and getting amongst it. Is there anyone I'd like to thank before we let you go?
You guys, as always, the races. I'd like to thank the boys for keeping us so, mate, seriously clean. I thought there would be a lot more carnage in front of us, but they did really great. And the boys as usual. I only have one spotter tonight in my ear, so that was a bit of a change. But yeah, Greg, Martin, Doug, and Justin, and obviously my daughter Beth. I want to give her a big thank you as well.
Yeah, beautiful. There you go, folks. The spotter count was down to 1 here this week. We're taking bets on what it'll be next week. But anyway, thanks, Vasco. Great to see you as always, mate. We look forward to talking to you again soon.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one. Thank you.
There you go, Corey. Vasco Sorofsky solves the mystery of the week. Just the one.
Yeah, and that's a surprise in itself. And I don't think he actually learnt too much when me and him had a race the other day. I mean, I'm pretty sure he lapped me twice. So he definitely didn't learn anything from me about this track. But again, Savosky is one of those other drivers that we've seen come up from the second split. And, he's running at the front of these top split races. And, it's just the improvement from when we first seen him to now has just been absolutely incredible. And, I'm expecting much bigger and better things out of him and his army as spotters because, they're definitely going to be on the up and up as we keep going on through the season, Alex.
Yeah, absolutely. And who knows how long it'll be before we see another Team Clowns racer in the top split with us here on a Sunday night. But that's what we can only wait and see. But for now, folks, that might do us. Corey, tell the folks at home what you got coming up this week.
So streaming GTA has gotten a little bit harder because I've become an admin on the server. So we'll probably be seeing a little bit more of iRacing content coming up this week. I'm looking to do a Wednesday stream with the Output Racing boys. They're in their off season right now, and it's having a bit of fun driving with them in their little off season series that they got going on. Friday morning, of course, we've got Chat AI Racing and maybe a couple of other races as well. And then, from then on, it's just all an interpretation of when I can be bothered to get on and stream, Alex.
Yeah, beautiful. All right. Everything Top Split is on your screen as always, folks. Join us in the Discord community where we do the broadcast from and all the latest info and news for Sunday Night Lights is contained. The Top Split on YouTube is where you'll find this and all the other replays of races for our past 25 and a bit seasons of Sunday Night Lights. And of course, Top Split TV on Twitch is where you'll find us each Sunday night, 9:15 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Savings Time at the moment, which is GMT plus 11. But for now, folks, thank you all for joining us at home and on the track. It is a broadcast that's done for the community, by the community, and that's how we like it. And without your support, we would be nothing. So please hit like, thumbs up, subscribe at all those different places to help really bring this and show it to the rest of the world just how good we can be here in the Skippy land. But for now, folks, and on behalf of the chaotic one himself, Corey Steinhauser, I'm Alex McKellar, and I will say ciao for now.